All right, so we're here. NBA Finals, Game 1 has been completed. Welcome to another edition of What's Bruin. I'm your guy, Rob Bruin, Nasir Smith. We're back here with Ed, man, longtime Pacers fan. It looks like the Pacers were able to put down one of the biggest comebacks in NBA Finals history. This was one for the books. Pacers won 111 to 110, and when they won this game, I just want everybody to know that was their first time taking the lead in the entire game. So Nas, tell me what you were seeing to start the game off. I guess when Ed catches better connection, he'll jump back in.
Yeah. So what I saw was a complete. I saw a breakdown in Oklahoma City Thunder for the first time. Collapse. Okay, for the lack of better word. I saw a Oklahoma City team completely look lost. Right?
Yes.
You got to think this entire postseason, they have been just steamrolling people.
Everybody.
Every team they
except Denver.
But even when they beat Denver, right? There were a few games that they had, you know what I mean, a close. It was close in score,
close margin, yeah.
And so in this game, I think they underestimated Indiana's ability to come from behind because Rick Carlisle, he has a model of, listen, you either shooting a three ball or you going to the hole. You ain't about to you're not about to, settle for these twos because they want to increase the amount of possessions that they get in the game. And so what I anticipate was that Oklahoma City they were stunned, right? Towards the end of the game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'm a stats guy, so I'm gonna go give you a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead, because the stats not gonna save you in this game.
It is.
Even though you're gonna say it's not.
So Shai played 40 minutes total, scored 38 points. He took 30 shots, right? He took 30 shots. And so what I saw down the stretch was he was burnt out. He was tired.
He was tired?
He was gassed.
Come on, Nas.
He passed the
ball. Nas, he's been off for 9 days of relaxation, R&R.
Bro, he passed the ball. To Jalen Williams with roughly 5 seconds I think it was a little bit more time left on the clock. He passed the ball to Jalen Williams. Hold on, I documented when this happened.
I'm sure you did, because I have 2 nuggets that I want to give you.
It was with 5 seconds. He swung the pill to Jalen Williams with 5 seconds left on the shot clock when they were up 1 prior to Haliburton, prior to them getting the rebound and Haliburton going down, hitting the game-winning shot. Right?
Can I give you 2 nuggets, please?
I mean, you didn't let me finish, but yeah, go for it.
I don't want you to finish. I want to cut you off.
Go for
2 nuggets for you. First one. Indiana has trailed by 15 points in the fourth quarter of Game 1, ultimately recording their 5th 15-point fourth quarter comeback this postseason, the most by any team in a single postseason since 1998. Right? Against the Bucks, they came back from 20. The Cavs, they came back from 20 and 19. And then the Knicks, they came back from 17. And then the Thunder by 15. And here's the kicker. It matched the largest fourth quarter comeback in the NBA Finals over the last 50 years. The X factor in this is the head coach for each of those 2 instances were Rick Carlisle. Coaching, not being tired, Nas. Rick Carlisle when he was with Dallas, go ahead, sip your coffee. And Rick Carlisle now that he's with the Indiana Pacers. It's coaching and experience, Nas. Indiana's been knocking on the door. Yes, the Thunder do look good. They look amazing. But the Pacers have shown resilience time and time again that no matter how much we get down by. As I'm watching the game, right, I'm noticing that no matter what type of run the Thunder go on, it seems like first quarter, I believe it was 14 turnovers, I believe it was. In the first, they were only down by 9. They should have been down by double that. No matter what, they always meant to keep it close by like 15, 12, right? And I feel like when the Pacers can stay within striking distance, which we all know, they have the ability to snatch the game from you. And you have to give Haliburton his props to have 14 points, 10 rebounds, and I believe it's 6 assists or vice versa, that he definitely is a rising superstar, hands down. We can't take that from him, and the Pacers are very poised. And next game, Game 2, is a must win for the Thunder. Otherwise, Ed is going to be jumping for joy.
Now, before we let Ed jump in, because he looked like he's back, I want to point something out to you because the last time I put this up, when the Indiana Pacers closed out the New York Knicks in 6,
Correct.
or I'm sorry, when they lost Game 5 prior to Game 6, Tyrese Haliburton's plus minus
There you go.
was what? Minus, it was like minus 10, minus 11 last
Here you go.
night. He was a plus 12 in that box. So it shows that every time his plus minus is effective, the
Right.
Indiana Pacers win, because
Right.
most people were shitting on Haliburton yesterday because he only
Of
had
how much he was scoring.
he had 14 points, 6 assists, and 10 rebounds. And
Okay, it was that's what I said. Yep.
why the plus minus category is so effective, because although he was not the leading scorer for Indiana, they still won, and he still had the biggest impact on the team outside of Obi Toppin, who was the X
Who had
factor.
17 points? Correct.
He was the X factor. He shot the ball 62% from the field. I'm sorry, 66% from the field, 62% from the 3-point line. He was 5 for 8 from the 3-point line. He was their best 3-point shooter yesterday. And so now I don't think Oklahoma City prepared for Obi Toppin to be an X factor in the series. They were looking for Nembhard. They were looking for Aaron Nesmith, right? They were looking for these various individuals who in the past has shown that they could become the X factor to help Indiana win. They now were thrown off by the Obi Toppin effect. Now, Ed, are you with us? Because we want to get your live.
Can we hear you?
I can hear you.
Yes, Ed.
And I'm good.
Yo, Ed, can I give you 2 nuggets real quick before you go on your soapbox? I'm gonna just run it back for you real quick because Nas didn't like it. He wanted to do stats. In this game right here that just passed, it marked the 4th largest comeback in the NBA Finals over the last 50 years. The common denominator in that was Rick Carlisle, right? Last 2 instances was with Dallas and with this time with the Pacers. And Indiana has trailed by 15 points in the 4th quarter, ultimately recording the 15th 4th quarter comeback in the postseason, the most by any team since 1999. Obviously, the first one was with the Bucks, where they came back from 20. Avs, they came back from 20, then they came back from 19. The Knicks, they dusted them off after coming back from 17, and then last night after coming back from 15 points. Floor is yours, Ed, because y'all look good right now. Y'all look good.
We do. That OKC, I mean, it was.
You was nervous last night, Ed.
Nervous. I was past nervous. I was like, I don't know how we going to even avoid a sweep, to be honest, because of the main thing was it wasn't like I'm in the group chat, at the job, and they like, you do know, SGA is not Rick Brunson. And all I really could say is,
Jalen Brunson.
yeah, I know. But what I really wanted to say was, we don't really have nobody to put on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what?
No, I'm talking about from a size standpoint. Like, he's so tall. Like, Brunson was so small. So you could crowd him a lot. So, but SGA could have his way. I don't even want to say they were gassed. I want to just say that for some reason they decided to go small, and it was because I guess Chet was having a bad game, and Hartenstein, they took him off. So now I guess they wanted 5 people on the court that could always switch off on Haliburton and keep the ball out of his hands and stuff like that. But Nembhard and Toppin just had their way, and then Siakam was a mismatch down low because he was, when you go small ball, he'll have a mismatch playing small like that, so he could still score. It was an ugly game. In the end, I'm glad we won, but I'm super glad we won because it was ugly. Like, I don't expect us to have 50 turnovers, really 19 in the first half and all
so
of that.
So let's stop right there for a second, Ed, and Nod, you jump in on this as well too. The Pacers had 25 turnovers. The Thunder had 7. When the Thunder are crowding you and collapsing and covering all passing lanes like that, helping, recovering, why is it that the Pacers were able to jump back and be able to get back into this game and none of those leads ever really deferred them or pushed them out of the game?
I personally think the difference between the first half and the second half, which you saw from the very beginning of the third quarter, was they weren't like crowding the 3-point line. Like, they was meeting us at half court. Something that the Knicks and everybody else did, but they threw it at us in waves, where as though Haliburton was just ineffective. That shot before the shot he took, the last shot we made, which I believe it was Nembhard, which was after the Turner bank in.
Oh, yeah, he hit the three. He hit the three.
Yeah, if you go back to that whole setup, Haliburton was calling off like, "Don't give me the ball, keep it rolling away from me." So I didn't even see who was on him, but they was just denying him, the whole game, except for that last possession where he was able to get to his right, get to his spot. Because I thought he was going to dish it off to
Nah,
Siakam.
I know he asked for it. He took it up full court. He asked for it.
Yeah, he took it up
He asked
full
for it.
court. And that's what they didn't do. They gave him space. So
And to
again,
let him cook, which is crazy.
right. I say all that to say, I don't think he's going to have, he might have like a 14, 15-point game this whole series because their whole intent is for him not to score, for the most part.
We lost Ed a little bit.
You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
I just think he's going to have, I wouldn't be surprised if this whole series, Haliburton has that same kind of stat line where it's like 14, 15 points.
Triple-double type vibe.
Yeah, they hell bent on shutting that down, denying him even to get the ball. Okay. So, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I knew it was coming to go through it.
That was spicy. It was different.
That was brutal.
Nas, what you got on that?
I mean, you also got to factor in, too, with the Oklahoma City Thunder, Lou Dort shot lights out.
And still got packed up.
Huh?
And still got packed up.
They did. They went on their run. See, the Thunder, they're a team that could go. They're used to going up between 15.
You're going up big.
Yes, very quickly. And they're not experienced with dealing with teams that are able to come back from things like that.
Correct.
Right?
Run you down.
So Indiana presented a challenge to them that they had yet to face all postseason, which was, hey, just because we're down, this game ain't over. They are going to play a full 48 minutes of basketball, which most teams ain't going to do and haven't done in the postseason. So this was different for them. And I do think coaching does come down to play down the stretch, right? You have Rick Carlisle, who has played in, has coached them. This is his second NBA Finals as a head coach and his third as a coach. He was on that assistant coach under Larry Bird on that team that played the LA Lakers in 99, 2000, right? And so their head coach now has to find a way to make an adjustment. One of the things that I didn't particularly care for, that I think he will make an adjustment, I'm going to call it out because his plus minus was a minus 13 yesterday, was he started Cason Wallace at the guard position. He didn't normally do that. He normally started Alex Caruso in that space, who I think
Caruso didn't come off the bench?
Huh?
I thought
Caruso came off the bench.
Yeah, I thought he usually start Harden.
Nah, Wallace been starting.
No, Cason Wallace has not been starting all season.
No, not all season. I'm talking in the postseason.
No, I'm talking about, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the adjustment that I'm
sorry. Okay, I got you.
Anticipate he makes, because when they were themselves, Cason, like during the season, Cason Wallace was not starting. Okay. Alex Caruso started at different points. He threw Isaiah Joe in there. Hartenstein, they did run that, right? It would be Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, Chet, Hartenstein, and Shai, and then they would bring off what's my man, Jalen Williams, but he didn't play at all yesterday. That's the other Jalen Williams.
He didn't get no tick yesterday.
He did none. He didn't touch the floor. So I think Indiana's in a good spot, man. I definitely see them going in now with the confidence that we need to let's try to steal two. And then we might have something on our hands. Now, I'm not going to jump out the window and say they're not sweeping the Thunder.
Don't jump.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I think Rick and them. I think the Indiana Pacers feel like we got one, and that's the one they wanted.
Yeah,
game one, they got it.
I want to say this too, man. Hats off for the Pacers for really applying pressure and never being scared of the moment. They had 66 points in the second half. That's the most that any team has put up on OKC in the postseason so far in the second half. Kudos to them grinding things out. Miles Turner with that big bank shot from the left wing. Nembhard couldn't throw a rock into the ocean these past few games. Nembhard steps up and hits a few clutch baskets. And then you have to take your hats off to Helly, because the fact that his stat line doesn't bother him. We listened to Richard Jefferson on the play-by-play talking about his stat line is bad and he's not ready for the moment. Then everything just changes in a moment, and it's like, no, like, hallelujah, Haliburton. Like, Helly is him. We can go back and forth about if he's a superstar or not. And it kind of had me thinking a little bit about, like, Jamal Murray a little bit. Like, kind of like some people in a way where, like, some people say Jamal Murray is a 16-game player. meaning in the finals or in the postseason, he knows how to turn it on and off. I'm not going to say Hallie is better than him because Murray got his ring, and I think it looks like Hallie is on his way. But Haliburton is definitely the motor and the heart behind his team. And shout out to Siakam. I mean, this whole team from top to bottom, this was a collective win, right? Pascal Siakam had 19. Neesmith had 10. Miles Turner had 15. Nembhard and Haliburton had 14. And then Obi Toppin with 7. TJ McConnell has 9. Benedict Mathurin has 5. And Shepard has 3. So I just feel like from top to bottom, you just got to give this team the nod because they got it done. Like Ed was saying, it was ugly, right? And the fact that the game was this ugly, it makes me feel good because when we're on, all cylinders are going, I'm not worried. I'm not going to jump out the window, but I'm happy with us getting this type of win in the first game. And lastly, the Pacers know how to put on a game one. At this point, I'm convinced. They bringing it to you on your home court, ready to snatch your soul from game one. And the Thunders, they're in for more than they bargained for because I feel like everyone has been disrespecting the Pacers, disrespecting Haliburton, and I think this game has shown everyone to stop playing with them and give them the respect they deserve.
And this the thing that happened. Yeah, I agree with all that good stuff. The thing that shouldn't go under the radar is the amount of energy that Nembhard exhausted on SGA just to keep him. I mean, he was having his way, but he's a little off. When things got a little tight or whatever, and still have the energy to score. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't expect him. I just expected him to be gassed just for throwing out so much defensive energy on whatever he could do on SGA, and to have the strength or whatever that, what I'm saying, put it on the offensive end, and you know what I mean? They're going to have to respect that. So now, if you OKC, you have to figure out, like, okay, are you going to deny both of them? Because if you do that off a switch, then it becomes a mismatch depending on who's on the court. So I think the biggest thing from winning game one is it allows us, the benefit of the adjustment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if OKC going to do much anything different, but I just know and I hope and expect that we can play a little bit better. Just shoot the ball a little bit better. Just take care of the ball a little bit better. And, hope for the best right there.
And by the way,
That's all. That's
Nembhard,
all.
Nembhard and Shai are, Nembhard's a Canadian, and so he knows Shai's game very, very well. He cannot stop him, but he can try to make
You
it
can slow him down somewhat
as possible. By the way, he cooked Shai on that move. That was a lightly toasted bread right there.
Talk about lightly toasted.
Lightly toasted because he didn't fall or anything like that, but he lightly toasted him for sure. Lightly toasted him.
Yes, sir.
What is I want to ask you as an Indiana Pacers fan, what do you think the key is? And then Rob, you can follow up here. What do you think the key is for Indiana to go back into OKC, which by the way, Rick Carlisle said in his press conference that the decibels in that arena was something he's never seen in his entire career. So what is the key to Indiana winning and stealing another game in Oklahoma City?
Nas, what did you say Carlisle never seen before?
He never heard the decibel level.
Oh, how loud it's going to be.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Just taking care of the ball. I know this may sound cliche or whatever, but they can't do no bounce passes. The ball has to be on fire. It cannot stick at all. It pretty much is forcing us to play an even better version of ourselves with moving the ball, like OKC. Either that or go the opposite way and slow it down a little bit to slow OKC down. But the bottom line is we got to take care of the ball. They jump the passing lanes. Even with a rebound, you got to keep the ball up because once you bring it down, they swatting it. They coming from the back. So we really we couldn't play our game at all. And, it seemed like everything we tried to do, rebound, whatever, they had an answer and we was just throwing the ball over crazy. So take care of the ball better.
I'm definitely with Ed on that. And I'm gonna say this too. If I'm the Thunder, I'm also a little confused because I didn't get the best from J-Dub. J-Dub has 17. He didn't play his exact best. I'm gonna say J-Dub to put the Pacers away is gonna have to be around in that 25 range. When I'm looking at the Pacers, as long as we collectively can cook, we have more of an advantage as opposed to the two leading players needed to take control. I think that when Haliburton takes that next step, I kind of disagree with Ed. I think his stat line is going to go up. Like that first game back in Indy, Haliburton giving us 30. He's not going to have no fourth. The energy is going to be too high. Dad is going to be back courtside. Giannis not going to be there. It is going to be up. So I'm just saying that to say I think the X factor, either way we look at it, is going to be Haliburton and it's going to be Siakam. Nembhard is going to have to do.
I wondered that what you just said. Just out of curiosity, what was Siakam's plus minus? And let me ask you a quick question, Rob.
Yeah.
While you wrapping the Pacers side up, what would you do with Chet? And what
What
do
would
you
I
think
do with
happened
Chet in
with
terms
Chet?
of how I guard him?
No. As far as like game 2, coming off of what he did or didn't do in game 1, all of that.
So, the thing is interesting. For me, I've been saying before this series started that Siakam was going to embarrass Chet. I don't think Chet isn't going to match up to Siakam so well. The reason why I'm saying this, I was creating a montage for like the Thunder and the Pacers series, and I'm watching how well Siakam moves without the ball. I had no idea. He's getting a block on one end, sprinting down to the other end, catching the ball, knocking down the three, or attacking the paint, right? Then he has the KG jump shot midi off the glass, right? So I'm just saying that to say Chet is not going to matter because Siakam's going to cancel him out. I don't really feel like there's much Chet can do because Siakam's experience is really going to show us how irrelevant Chet is in this situation. I mean, the most I'm really looking at Chet for is maybe like 15 and 7 rebounds, maybe. And I really don't even feel like that's going to be enough because Siakam struggled and he still had, what did Siakam have? I think Siakam had 19.
Siakam had 19.
Yeah, and Siakam had 19.
10 rebounds into
You see what I'm saying? So,
plus
yeah, Nas.
minus 10. Plus minus was a minus 10.
What was it?
Minus 10.
Okay.
So
that's why I asked, because Chet seemed to be in the second half off the switch. He seemed to be the target, just like what we did in New York against Towns. He was
And the
the
switch
target.
when Deadman playing.
Right. So
Which
I think that
contributes
might have
to
played into the Thunder's belief when they benched him, or just he wasn't in there, in the fourth quarter.
He played 23 minutes, by the way, yesterday. Chet.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about, let's break down SGA a little bit. I think he had a great game. There was some sound towards the end of the game, like after for the presser, where SGA was saying that he just felt like Helly made a good shot. He thought that they covered him well. He didn't see that it was going to play out that well, the way it did rather. And Helly just all around just made a better shot. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of looked at SGA to step up in that situation, right? He's an MVP. No, he's not the best defender, but he's solid. He's a real 6'6". He's a solid guard. He's not a cone. He can defend. And I look to in that moment for SGA, you the MVP, right? You got Jokic out of there. That's gone. Now they saying you trying to be an NBA championship. So I'm looking for SGA to make that next jump. And as I'm looking at SGA's game, I'm starting to wonder if he needs to lower his scoring and get everybody more involved and take over at the end as opposed to having 38, 40, because to be honest with you, this is nothing towards the Pacers, but the Thunder shouldn't have lost that game. They had ample moments and times to cut that lead out. So I put that 100% on the Thunder.
Yeah, we agree. Like the whole time, the air was out, but every time it's like, this is over, it's like it went from 15 to 8, and it's like, oh, here we go. Then here they come again. 15 to 8, and then here they come again. So I agree. They shouldn't have lost that. I mean, they lost the game more than we won the game.
For sure. They gave it up.
That was our only time from the tip that we had a shot to even take the lead, and it just so happened to play out like that. So I think going back to what you guys said in the beginning, leaning on Carlisle to kind of now see what the Thunder, will do. And I hope he has maybe a better plan. Maybe he don't. It didn't look like he did, at least not yesterday.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So, I mean, I don't even know what's the line for Sunday's game.
Oh. Say it again?
I know it's very bad. Nas, you got the line?
The line for Sunday is OKC minus 10.5.
Dang.
That's
Okay.
big. That's
Yo,
big.
Nas, in the chat, your man Justin said SGA is another version of Brunson, but more fun to watch. That is crazy.
Mm.
The way
Mm.
he,
That's crazy.
the way he makes shots, like it's just all of this
It's
extra
easy. It
stuff
look
that
like a
go in.
video game.
Yeah, like
It look like a
it's
video game. It don't
crazy.
look real.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. But overall, though, all jokes aside and all that good stuff, I'm glad. It was a good game. One, for the small markets. I don't even know what was the the audience, the viewership like. Did they announce that yet?
No. Actually, when I got to tap in and check that out.
So I also
I
want to
Yeah.
gotta
point
check.
out too. I also want to point out that Justin lives in Indiana. He's a Pacers fan.
Is
Justin,
he?
yes, he is.
That's love. That's love. What's up? Just jump on the call. What's up?
And just I know you in the audience is my older stepbrother, and he is an Indiana. That's the guy I was telling you about as a Pacers fan. Just so you know.
Yo, Nas, we talked about
Yeah.
how SGA is great at picking his spots. What would you say he has to do a little bit different going down the line in terms of these next few games? What adjustments does he have to make?
I think one of the areas that that will propel the Thunder to play a better overall game to sustain the lead that they had in this game, because they completely dominated. So you could say to
Yeah, they
yourself
did.
what they can do differently, but I don't know that there's a ton that you even want to change in terms of how they played for the first 3 quarters of the game, right?
Mm.
You can accredit that to Indiana's inability to take care of the basketball, right? So they converted on just about, I would say, 90% of Indiana's turnovers. They had 24 turnovers, so they converted on 90% of that. So yeah,
Okay.
you can attribute that, right? We gotta throw that out there. But I think one of the things I would love to see SGA do is to get more of his teammates involved. So when we are down the stretch, they're not all like a deer in the headlight when it comes to their ability to want to score the basketball. Point in case, Andrew Nembhard felt very confident to take over control of the basketball and to make some tough shots down the stretch that I was kind of like, why the hell is the ball not in Tyrese Haliburton's hands? But you got to remember, if you look at, and the numbers tell it all, you guys know I'm a numbers guy.
Relax.
Haliburton was distributing the ball. Now, he only finished with 6 assists, but he was allowing Nembhard to do his thing, right? Which was, hey, I'm going to let you get involved in this game. He did the same thing with Obi Toppins. Obviously, Pascal Siakam inserted themselves. There was a sighting of Miles Turner, which was big. And so when you think about that, and I love the confidence from TJ McConnell. There were certain times we backed off of him. McConnell said, oh, you want to sit back there and allow me to hit this? I'm going to hit this.
Yeah.
Right? Those are all of the small things that don't show up on the stat sheet that I think if you're the Thunder, you can't leave any room forever. You can't allow TJ McConnell to hit you, because that guy, as a hooper, the one guy on the floor that shouldn't be hitting the 3 ball. If they hit that 3 in the game, you like shit, right? Because that's 3 points you give up to a guy that you probably, if you'd have stepped up on, you wouldn't have give up those points. So I just feel like I want to see Shai, to answer your question in full, Rob. I want to see Shai get more of his teammates involved offensively, and I want to see him dig down a little bit defensively to help his team win games. It's no excuse that you don't you're not the person that's making because he's in the passing lanes, but I think
you got to lock up.
I need you to sit down.
Strap up.
Sit down and guard.
You know what's crazy off of what you said too? That's a really good point. Usually OKC throughout this postseason has been one of the teams, or if not the team, where when you make mistakes, they capitalize on it instantly, and they make you pay for it. And I feel like this is a masterclass by Rick Carlisle. Hats off to him to show like, no, we're flipping the script. Like, we're not even up, and we can find a way to get back in this lead and flip it on you guys, and now be able to you flip the negatives into positives. Yeah, damn good game last night, man, for sure.
And the crazier part about it is, Rob, we got to keep highlighting this. Indiana had 24 turnovers. Now they took care of the basketball in the second half. Now they took care of the basket in the second half. It showed, hey, if we actually take care of the basketball, we can
cook.
And
yes.
They had 19 in the first half. That's why they was getting smoked. As soon as they took care of the basketball, all of that sort of got compressed, and then they were able to focus and hang their head on the defensive end, because now they didn't stop anybody, but they made the shots tough. SGA had to take a lot of tough twos, which is why a lot of coaches in the data analytics part of the basketball This is why they only want you shooting the 3 ball, or they want you at the rim. There's no in between, because you miss a couple of those tough twos, and it could
Gotta
cost
make
you,
them in
because
between.
the other team's playing a
Yep.
different game. So if you continue to miss, and this is what happened yesterday, Shai missed there was a stretch where Shai missed 3 consecutive 2-pointers.
That last bucket hurt bad too, right
And
before Haliburton.
Indiana went down and made 3 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
That's 9 points. Now we're trimming at this lead. And so there's a game of numbers that's being played. And that's why I gotta point to, excuse me, the numbers. The numbers matter. Thank you. The numbers do matter. And we have to calculate that throughout the course of the game. I'm telling you, watch the game Sunday, and you're gonna see my point. They're gonna allow Shai to get to his spots. You can't do nothing about it. If he wants to continue to take 2-pointers, Rick Carlisle, is his way of playing chess is that we're going to go down and shoot a 3. As soon as he starts to miss that's why I said Lou Dort's not going to shoot the ball like that again. He shot 5 for 9.
No, that's the best game he's probably going to have all series. That's not happening
again.
again.
Like that again. So in Oklahoma City doesn't shoot a lot. That's also something I want to point out. They don't shoot a lot of 3-pointers. They don't. They play an efficient game. They turn you over defensively to go down and score. They only shot 30 3-pointers yesterday. 30.
That's not low, but that's not high. That's a good amount. It's a good amount.
But your best 3-point shooter can't be Lou Dort.
No, it cannot be. No, it cannot be.
Shai was chucking up some threes yesterday that I thought were questionable. He was being a little bit more aggressive. So I think ultimately, man, it's going to come down to SGA getting his teammates involved earlier and often, being a lot more aggressive. I want to see him more aggressive at the rim. I felt like he faded away on a lot of those opportunities. He didn't, contrary to what most people think. Shai shot 8 foul shots yesterday. That's low. That's very low. It's another thing that stands out to me. He lives at the free throw line.
That's a good, but the game was so fast paced yesterday, and there was so many transitional turnovers that Indy wasn't necessarily doing a great job of defending in the beginning.
But they did a great job. They did a great job. You think first half turnovers were a bit of nerves?
So
it could be.
One thing is they had, I think it was 19 turnovers in the first half, but I think they only scored like 6 points or maybe 8 points off of those turnovers. So they wasn't converting. And they did say, well, not a lot, but a number of them turnovers was kind of like dead ball turnovers, like inbounding the ball.
They were like in the lane too. They were like sloppy passes,
Yeah.
That's
so that's
with this question. And real quick, Justin said, you think the first half turnovers were a bit of nerves? I would agree. I heard Haliburton say I was listening to
he felt good. Yeah.
He was like, I'm settling into the game. So I definitely think a little bit of nerves played a factor into that. And then he also made the comment that we talked about earlier, which was that Nembhard knows SGA. And so multiple times you see Nembhard pull away from SGA so he couldn't get that body contact.
Because he knew it was coming.
And that's my point. Yeah. That's why he only lived at the line.
That experience, yeah.
He lived at the line 8 times. They're Canadians. They play on the Canadian national team. So he knows Shai's game. He can't stop him, but where his effectiveness is. He's like, you know what? You're gonna have to kill us from all of these twos you're about to shoot, but you are not about to smoke us at the free throw line. Because that's
with these kind, yeah.
But go ahead.
It's crazy too. Yeah, no.
Well, I just wanted to jump in real fast too. Like last night and basically most of the New York series, I was fully anticipating, just the refs, in regards to Brunson sending him to the line because of the herky.
Oh, nah, they let him play.
And they didn't fall for that. And, with the SG thing, I mean, I knew the stats. I heard it on SportsCenter. He lives at the free throw line. But I was sitting there like, he's not getting there like nothing ticky-tack. It's the ticky-tack that gets me. So, and, at least last night, they was letting them play. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think also, too, kind of like when we're looking at, the adjustments that should be made, the Thunder really going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out, like, J-Dub is really going to have to take that next step. I know that I said that a little earlier, but we don't want to see another version of him disappearing like a Harden situation. Right? You the man throughout the year. We get to the finals, and I damn near think you in the bleachers somewhere. You're not on the court with us. And I'm not saying it wasn't that drastic, but this is gonna show us what J-Dub is made of too, because he had some good plays too down the stretch where he grabbed some steals. He had a dunk in the third, or I believe the fourth quarter, that kind of killed the momentum as well too. And even it plays back in my mind. It makes me think if SGA hits that midi before Haliburton, what that does to the momentum, right? Because now that means the Thunder are up 4, I believe, instead of 2, right? So now that puts the Pacers in a position they got to get a 3 or they got to go to the basket and get the contact and then foul to try to get the ball back. I also kind of wonder too, it's like there were 2 fouls left, I believe, for the Pacers and 1 for the Thunder, I believe it was, or neither one of them were in the bonus yet, or they were. I wonder why they just didn't foul Haliburton instead. Because I'm just watching, I'm like, y'all gonna give Hallie the ball and let him run up? Because if you think about it, when he hit that 3 or the 2, I'm sorry, against the Knicks, he's trying to get to the midi first. He's trying to get in the lane. He doesn't really want the 3 first. He can shoot it, but they just let him walk into that midi, bro. And I'm watching. I'm like, this is not going to be good. From the right side too, right, Nas? Right-handed likes to go left. He went where he went, to that right.
And the thing is, if they would have fouled him, even if you would have put him on the line, you'd have had much more time left. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, Hallie, he's like a 90% free throw shooter too, I believe. So it's like, damned if you do, damn if you don't.
But if you do foul him, I take my chances as a basketball.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Player. Go take the free throws.
Go take your free throws.
But I need more time to come back to tie the game to give me
correct
an opportunity to, because they only got 0.3 left in the game after that shot. Now,
yeah,
we're sitting here and we're scratching and clawing at the fact that if we're trying to attribute to why Indiana was able to get back into this game, what I want to highlight, is that Rick Carlisle's, when they were down, right, and he was trying to make a comeback.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play chess, right? Because it's a 7-game series for a reason. 7-game series for a reason. I'm pointing something out to y'all. This is how basketball works. I'm the only hooper on the call right now.
So you about to do masterclass?
I'm the only hooper on the call, so I want to break something down, right?
I hear you.
Rick Carlisle was playing chess because he said to himself, if we can avoid our turnovers and we can get ourselves back into the game, even if we lose and it's not a blowout, I have now figured out what the adjustment is for game 2 to give us the opportunity to continue to play in a series. See, it's not always for him. That's why the guy, did you hear the commentator? It was a reporter who asked him, did you think to yourself, wow, we got back into that game, and like, how the hell did, like, it was some variation of that question. The reporter asked him, and Rick Carlisle was like, no, it's about being poised, right, and continue to keep your eyes on the ball, which is the goal, right? We're trying to win a championship here. So I'm not trying to get it all figured out in one game. I want to play chess with this. We got back in this game. We lose by less than 10. I got something. I know what I'm doing now. Now I can get back into the arena, get back into the ring. Now OKC they're really trying to scramble and figure out where they went wrong, and it's going to take some soul searching, because it did not, in the first half they played a great brand of basketball. You can't play any better than that. You have to look at the second half and see where the breakdowns happen. In terms of lineups, whose plus minus was effective versus non-effective. How do you continue to get these other guys involved? And then if you're Indiana, you got to figure out, how do you take care of the basketball, and how do you continue to get your role players? Indiana does it better than any other team besides the Oklahoma City Thunder and the NBA of getting their role players involved. So I think there will be this is a masterclass of the role players who can effectively put their role players in position. We know what Shai's going to do. You know what he's going to give us. We understand what Pascal Siakam's going to give us, right? And so, because I think, Ed got his face frown, but I think Pascal Siakam is, in my opinion, the leader of this Indiana Pacer team. He's the one with the championship pedigree in the series, not Tyrese Haliburton, who was the best player.
Okay.
Who's the best player? I didn't say best player. I said who was I'm talking about, when we talk about comparing who the top guys from an experience factor is for each team, right?
You said Tyrese is most important.
He's most important piece.
Right.
So I think you have to find a way. It's going to be the battle of role players in this series, period. And so I'll kick it back to y'all as we're kicking into time here. Want to be cognizant of that.
Yeah. I'll say this last point, and then we could get out of here if Ed want to wrap it up. I'll say this too. Jim Carrey, a.k.a. Rick Carlisle, this is the second time that he's been in the finals and he's been underestimated and nobody thought that they was going to be there. When Dallas got there against the Heat, we was not expecting that. And then they won it. This time, I really do feel like OKC underestimated what the Pacers were coming into that building to do. and it showed. So as we know, this is a game of adjustments. This will be good too to see what the Pacers do after winning a game that wasn't in reach at the time while they were playing. I think this is if we're being honest, the Pacers need to steal game 2, bro. I'm gonna just say that. They need to take game 2 because if they go back to Indy down 0, lights, please. Turn off the lights. You know what time it is. That's all I'm gonna say.
We agree. Like, I mean, like there's no time to take the foot off the pedal now. Like, I mean, if we still is the right word. Like, I mean, we did what we came here to do. We got the one, and now you need the whole home court. I mean, everybody know math with that. But if we get this next one, which is going to be hell and back. But if
this is going to be spicy.
Then it really becomes scary, almost scary, like scared to actually like, oh, that's when you're going to have somebody like me say,
acting like, crazy.
This might
be over.
Might really happen. I'm 2 wins away. I'm counting minutes now. You know what I'm saying? So, but everything you said was kind of, definitely right. I just think I'm not sure what's going on with OKC and their coach, switching but right before game 1, before he even tipped, maybe he's in his head a little bit more. I'm not sure. But the best thing is, we got one, and definitely if we could steal game 2, we really want.
That's big.
Yep. Agreed.
Yo, Nas, I'm gonna say this. I had the Pacers winning game 1. I had before the series started. I had Pacers winning game 1, Thunder game 2, Pacers taking both games at home, Thunder winning the next.
Pacers in 6.
Then the Pacers, and then the Pacers ending
at home
in OKC.
Pacers in 5.
No, 7.
Oh, 7. Pacers
7.
7?
Yeah.
Ooh. And
I had Pacers in 7.
With that comeback win yesterday, it's gonna drive ratings. Whew, through the roof.
Because like we said in the game 1, this is gonna be quality. This is quality basketball, bro. This might not be the 2 best teams that you wanted. But for basketball heads, this is heaven, bro.
Because the first
There's
half,
no way you don't see that.
The first half had the Thunder beaten the Pacers the way they were beating them in the first half.
Everybody's gonna start watching, bro.
Everybody's gonna tune out because people were gonna say, "All right,
correct.
Who's about to win this series?" It's
now everybody's tuned in. Like, yo, I know Thunder got to get their lick back, and everybody knows that the Pacers are not gonna win game 2. That's the thing too. Everyone knows that.
Everybody's betting against
this. If it is a game 7, is it on Father's Day? Is that scheduled for Father's Day? Is there a Father's Day game, whether it's 6 or 7?
Hold on, let me see.
Possible game.
Because around this time, most fans, especially me as a Pacer fan, I'm just like, look, just give me a game 7.
Game 7 would be June 22nd. So I don't think that's Father's Day.
No,
I might be wrong.
Father's Day is
Father's Day is next week or the 15th. I'm sorry. So game 7 would be June 22nd.
There is no game on Father's Day. No. I think the game is the 14th. No, the game is Friday.
It's every 2 days.
Gotcha.
Just next game Sunday.
Yep.
All right, gang. Well, we always appreciate everybody for tapping in. As Nas will say, continue to like, comment, share, subscribe. Continue to write us on the page. Tell us some thoughts. If you guys have anything you want us to tap in about. And as always, continue to be safe. Love.
Peace.